Ladies and gentlemen, bike lovers and speed enthusiasts, today, we're diving into one of the most iconic superbikes in the world, the 2026 Suzuki Hayabusa. For decades, the Hayabusa has been a symbol of raw power, aerodynamic brilliance, and Japanese engineering at its absolute best. It has broken records, challenged rivals, and built a cult following across the globe. Now in 2026, Suzuki has unleashed the next evolution of this legend. With more power, sharper design, and cutting-edge technology, the Hayabusa is back to remind everyone why it's called the king of the superbikes. So in this video, we'll cover everything, from its history and legacy, to the 2026 redesign, performance stats, technology, design, riding experience, rivals, price, and of course, whether it truly lives up to the hype. Let's get started with the story of the legend itself. The legacy of the Hayabusa. Back in 1999, Suzuki set out to do something outrageous, build the fastest production motorcycle in the world. And they succeeded. The original Hayabusa, with its 1,300cc engine, aerodynamic body, and unmatched top speed, changed the motorcycling world forever. It was fast, it was powerful, and it looked like nothing else on the road. The name Hayabusa means peregrine falcon, the fastest bird in the world, capable of reaching over 240 miles per hour in a dive. This wasn't just a name, it was a statement. Suzuki wanted to make a motorcycle that was the predator, not the prey. Over the years, the Hayabusa went through major evolutions. Gen 1 1999-2007 broke the 300 km per hour barrier, shocked the motorcycle world, and set a benchmark for superbikes. Gen 2 2008-2020 increased displacement to 1340cc, added better handling, more comfort, and even higher performance. Gen 3 2021-2025 brought in modern electronics, rider aids, improved aerodynamics, and a refined but aggressive design. And now, in 2026, Suzuki has taken everything they've learned from the last 25 years and created the ultimate Hayabusa. One that blends raw power with futuristic tech, while still staying true to its DNA. Engine and performance. When people think of the Hayabusa, they think of speed. They think of power. And the 2026 Suzuki Hayabusa doesn't disappoint. At its heart is the legendary 1,340cc inline-4 engine, but this year it has been heavily re-engineered. Suzuki introduced lighter forged pistons, redesigned crankshaft, advanced cooling system, optimized fuel injection mapping. The result, 210 plus horsepower, 160 Nm of torque, top speed of over 320 km per hour, 199 miles per hour. 0 to 100 km per hour in just 2.6 seconds. That's superbike territory that very few machines can even dream of touching. But the beauty of the Hayabusa has always been this. It's not just about outright power, it's about how it delivers that power. The 2026 Hayabusa has smoother acceleration, better low-end torque, and refined throttle response, making it usable not just on a racetrack, but also on highways and city streets. Advanced technology and electronics. Unlike the early days where the Hayabusa was all about raw power, the 2026 model brings in a full arsenal of modern electronics to match today's superbike standards. Here's what you get. 6-axis IMU inertial measurement unit for real-time traction and stability monitoring. Multiple riding modes, rain, street, sport, and track, each adjusting power delivery and safety systems. Cornering ABS, which keeps braking safe even when you're leaned over in a curve. Launch control, for perfect drag strip takeoffs. Quickshifter up and down, seamless gear changes without using the clutch. Wheelie control and engine braking control for safer aggressive riding. Adaptive cruise control, perfect for highway touring. Semi-active suspension that automatically adjusts damping depending on road conditions. This makes the Hayabusa not just a beast of raw speed, but also one of the safest and smartest superbikes you can ride in 2026. Design and aerodynamics. Let's talk about the design, the part that makes people turn their heads even when the bike is standing still. The 2026 Hayabusa is sharper, sleeker, and more futuristic than ever, while still keeping its iconic silhouette. At the front, a redesigned LED headlight cluster with integrated DRLs gives it a piercing look. The side fairings have deeper air vents and curves for better airflow management at high speeds. The tail section is slimmer but more muscular, balancing aggression with elegance. The entire body has been sculpted in a wind tunnel, reducing drag and increasing stability at ultra-high speeds. The Hayabusa has always been about aerodynamics, and the 2026 model takes it even further. It's literally designed to slice through the air like a falcon. Comfort and ergonomics. One thing that separates the Hayabusa from most other superbikes is comfort. While most leader-class superbikes are cramped, aggressive, and meant only for racetracks, the Hayabusa has always been different. It's a sport tourer as much as it is a superbike. In the 2026 model, Suzuki has fine-tuned the ergonomics. Slightly raised handlebars for less wrist strain. Redesigned seat with more padding for both rider and pillion. Adjustable foot pegs for different riding styles. This means you can take the Hayabusa on a 500 km highway trip, cruise at 150 km per hour effortlessly, and still feel fresh at the end of the ride. It's this versatility, superbike speed with touring comfort, that makes it so special. Rivals and competition. But of course, the superbike world is competitive. Let's see how the 2026 Hayabusa stacks up against its biggest rivals. Kawasaki Ninja H2. The H2's supercharged engine gives insane acceleration, but it's more expensive, heavier, and less practical for daily use. Ducati Panigale V4. An Italian masterpiece, sharper on track, but lacks the touring comfort of the Hayabusa. Honda CBR1000RRR Fireblade, extremely agile with racing DNA, but doesn't have the same torque monster feel of the Busa. The Hayabusa is the perfect middle ground. It's fast, powerful, comfortable, and versatile. That's why riders still pick it as their everyday superbike. Real-world riding experience. Numbers on paper are impressive, but what's the 2026 Hayabusa like to actually ride? In the city, the smooth throttle response and balanced weight distribution make it surprisingly manageable. It's big, yes, but not intimidating for experienced riders. On highways, this is where it shines. Cruising at 150 to 180 km per hour feels effortless, with the engine barely breaking a sweat. On twisty roads, the semi-active suspension and improved chassis make it more agile than older generations. On the track, while not as razor-sharp as the Panigale or Fireblade, the sheer power and stability make it a drag strip king. Simply put, the Hayabusa is not just a motorcycle, it's an experience of speed, comfort, and control combined. Price and variance. Now, the big question, how much will this beast cost? The 2026 Hayabusa is launching in two variants. Standard Edition, around $19,000 USD. Special Carbon Edition, around $23,000 USD with lightweight parts and premium paint. Of course, prices will vary by country, and in regions like India or Pakistan, import duties can push the price into the $25,000 $30,000 equivalent range. But for what it offers, the Hayabusa is still considered a relatively affordable superbike compared to its European rivals. Pros and cons. Quick breakdown. Pros. Brutal power with smooth delivery. Touring comfort plus superbike performance. Packed with modern electronics. Timeless, aerodynamic. Design. Affordable compared to European rivals. Cons.